and we'll give the ball back to the Orea team.
And here we go then, and you were just saying, just to pick up on that, Dale, I'm seeing a lot more of that courtesy change now also being played in and throughout Europe. So it's, I think, an absolutely a great thing to do, to, as you say, for the welfare of the ponies.
Sure, and it's worked out. We've seen so many different procedural and, parts of the game that people put into their game plan based on how it's changed the game in so many ways in a positive direction.
So here we go, back to the action. Orea, once again, they started this first chukker with winning that first throw in. They straight away ran towards that Oriflamme goal, were not able to get the first score of the game on the score sheet. Now, once again, Oriflamme picking it up nicely, takes it, it just goes over the halfway line, but that's all she wrote as it's sent back once again by Orea Polo, looking for someone to pick it up on. He does well. Now then, a three-man offensive line here. Petra Subatova will be the first one on it. Took a nice swing, got a piece of it, but slightly opened that wrist a little bit. You might have heard in the background the horn, the hooter, as once again with the number 4, Matti Busquet. Can he break the stalemate and get, beg your pardon, that was Justin Daniels, of course. Can they get a cheeky little goal before they go and change ponies at the end of that first chukker? And we have a whistle. The second of the game.
You got it. So, first chukker action, only 2 whistles. And remember, we will have your stats after our second chukker today, as we do have our CTV crew in the CTV studios keeping stats on all of the games. And we'll talk more about the stats in our second chukker. But we are going to get a whistle right here at the end of our first chukker play. So a bit of a defensive battle in our first chukker of our 2023 Metropolitan Cup 6 goal. And once again, welcome back, Jan Erik Frank. And we'll be right back here on CTV Sports.
Foot golf, it's a kind of life, and also it's a combination about golf and football.
So I got into sport through social media. Someone approached me on Twitter and said, "Have you tried it?" I'd never heard of it at that point. So I went to my local course and tried it and just completely fell in love with the game.
This is not as easy as it looks on your body. It's a lot of kicking. We don't normally kick this many hard kicks in soccer.
For me, this and the U.S. Open are the 2 top U.S. tournaments. It's something we all look forward to every single year.
Great fun, and I think everyone will enjoy it when they try it. You can't not have fun.
When you set goals at the start of the season and you're able to achieve them at the end of the year, I think I can speak for everyone and say when we set goals and we make the sacrifices that we make, which a lot of people don't see, and then it all comes to fruition, it's a good feeling.
I literally live, breathe foot golf.
Welcome back. Dale Schwetz here with Jan Erik Frank. On the mic today, Steve Lane working as our third man / IRO with the iPad right here in front of him on real time, a technology that Mike Ferrer, our executive producer, and Melissa Gainsey have been working on for a couple years here, and it is right now in tune, working very, very well. In tune with that, with Steve, is Gaston Dorniak, one of our top officials, mounted today, as he'll be working with in our 5th season of our World Polo League. But we have started out, and I hope you saw our commercial there of foot golf, remember, Jan, have you ever played any foot golf?
I haven't, but I've seen it, and I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Yeah, because I know you used to play soccer back
I
in
used
the
to
day.
play, absolutely.
Well, I actually was talking with Steve about it. Steve, we decided, because he's right-footed, we're going to buy one pair of shoes. He's going to wear the right foot. I'm going to wear the left foot.
Right.
So we both have soccer shoes to go out and play, and we're going to get it really dressed up really nice so we look really good. So if we get an opportunity to represent CTV Sports in foot golf one day.
Well, so you think Steve can hit a ball then, do you?
Well, and we've been talking about it. He's going to bring his golf game knowledge. I'm going to bring my soccer knowledge in. We're going to bring it together and see what happens.
Good. Well, good luck for that. And if you need a substitute, I love a bit of soccer, so anytime you need me, I'm a left footer, so we can share one shoe.
All right, so keep an eye out for that. But here we go. We started out here with the penalty at the end of our first chukker. It was an open goal penalty to a right-of-way violation in favor of Orea, and just wide to the right. So the Oriflamme team, and today, if you're just joining us here for our four-chukker match, we have Orea in the pink jersey, Petra Saratova, Finn Segunda, Justin Daniels, and Maddie Bousquet. They're wearing their pink jerseys. And then in the black jerseys with the orange and red, or yellow and red, you have the Oriflamme team coming in from the UK. And you have Ben Shepard, Artemio Figueres, Grant Gansey, and Jason Warren. And right after they missed the penalty shot, we have another penalty, and this one was right around the 60-yard line, or just inside the 60-yard line. So remember, as we place the ball, and we've been doing a lot of Polo 101 here in the month of January for our viewers, they're going to move that ball placement to the center, and it's going to be Jason.
Warren very quickly takes his 5B from, as you said there, from the halfway line. Now let's see if they can get a little bit closer. That's going to be left behind for Grant Gansey. Gansey hammers another one of those nice long balls. He's looking for Figueres at the front door. A lot of traffic in front of that goal mouth into that danger zone. And I believe, if my eyes don't deceive me, that ball also just went out to the right-hand side. So once again, Orea Polo in possession.
Yeah, well, I told you, watch out, Jason. He'll start the team off with the big, long shot, and it can be on a knock-in or from the center. He's done a fabulous job doing it, but so is this guy, Matty.
Once again, Orea Polo trying to get it deep down the field. But I've got to say, Dale, as you said, it's two teams very defensively, but also looking for that opportunity to try and play the offensive role. It really is, so far at the moment, hard to tell who's got the upper hand. Both teams very well mounted. Nice little run here. Now, that could be a Figueres opportunity if he can just find his way through. And coming up a little bit more now, another whistle here in chukker number 2.
Yeah, so they push it down as they get control from the center of the field. And as Jan was saying, it has been a defensive battle. Remember, the Orea team coming in at an 0-1 record. They lost their first game in this Metropolitan Cup, which has 4 teams involved, and that was against the Polo, or against CRG, Crescent Soleda, and the Polo School. They actually lost their first game against Oriflamme. So Oriflamme is coming in at a 1-0 record. So Oriflamme looking to go to 2-1 or 2-0, and this Orea team just trying to get to that 1-1 record. This kid has been very strong on his open goal penalties. And there he goes once again, Artemio Figueres.
Getting the first score in chukker number 2. Took a little time in coming, but and I think it's deservedly so. So a little bit of a mistake there, which gave that opportunity for Artemio to get the first score. That makes it 1-0. We are in the second chukker as they come back to the halfway line for the throw-in.
You know, one of the things we've seen this year, Jan, Steve and I, and the CTV Sports crew, as all of the leagues have been playing above their level. A lot of the handicapped, we've been seeing some very strong -1, 0 A-rated players and 2-goal players, and that has sped this low goal and medium goal up to another level. The 6 goal has been more like 8 to 10, the 12 more like 14, 16.
Well, that very much reminds me of last year, Dale. Last year we had exactly the same. But that, again, I think is a reflection of how, at grassroots level, Pony Club, how that is working. And, of course, Grand Champions, a champion exactly in that, in developing the youth of tomorrow. And we've seen so many, if I just think about how Grant Gansley, who I've now known for, the better part of 6 years, how he's come up through the ranks. It's great to see that there is so much talent being bred here at Grand Champions.
Huge part of the game, and it is making the high goal grow into a whole nother level, and we love to see that happen. We are going to get another whistle here, so the defensive battle, as we've seen in some of the games, will get a little sloppy because we have so much riding off and so many hooks and bumps and just tight plays where you can throw a blanket over 4 to 5, 6 players that we do see penalties, and we're going to catch another penalty right now, and it looks like they're on a replay just as they go round and round and round against another right-of-way violation. I guess they are going to call a timeout, and I think this is going to be a tack time. I'm sure we'll check our time over here. 3:37. So they are going to go into their courtesy change with 3:37 on the clock.
So, Orea Polo down by 1 goal. I'm sure Justin Daniels, Finn Secunda and Matti Busquet alongside Petra Subatova will want to come and rectify that very quickly, because it really has been hit and miss. No score in the first chuck-up. A penalty from the spot here in front of that goal in the second. So this is still a very much anyone's game.
Yeah, we have a sandwich on the call. I just got the word here from Steve Lane. He said a sandwich on the play. Remember, two players can go and ride each other off. But once that third player comes in and catches one player in the middle, there is danger involved there. So they do not allow that in the game of polo. They call it a sandwich. And it can happen at all different levels and all different degrees. It looks like the level and degree of this one, because it was at such a slow speed and not too much malice or danger there. They're just going to go from the spot. No need to move that ball. Now, if it was at higher speed or you did have, a harder ride-off, then you could move that ball to center or to a 60. But in this case, Dorniak decides from the spot, and it's going to be Jason.
So once again, Warren, the 3-goaler, or one of the 2 3-goalers in that team in Oriflamme, seeing if he can get that ball a bit further down the field. Ganzi tucking up nicely behind him. As I say, these 2 3-goal players, they are going to be instrumental here in, as Dale was saying earlier, trying to get a 2-0 in this Metropolitan Cup 6-goal 2023. But I know that Justin Daniels, alongside Finn and Matti Busquet, they will do whatever they can, but they found a little gap, and Figueres not quite able to put the finishing touches on that, just as you would say, Dale, ran out of real estate.
Well, we've had a few Remingtons, believe it or not, here, and Jan-Erik Frank, Steve Lane made sure that we gave you a quote. We know you branded that a long time ago, so we gave you a quote. That was a Remington, just off to the right side, a very close shave. But look at this, here comes Orea.
Once again on the move. This looks like a good run here now. Then he's got to go back in defence. Jason Warren, of course, playing the number 4. That is also part of his role, not just to feed the ball up to the attackers, but when, like we saw just now, he needs to go back. He will be instrumental in making sure that nobody gets through that last line of defence. Ball went over the sideboards, and we will have a hit from the spot, quickly taken once again by Oriflamme.
Change of possession there on that, and let's see if both teams again. Yeah, it's been a defensive battle now, controlled and backed up there by, it looks like it'll be to Maddie, left for Finn. Here comes Orea, and it's going to be Maddie out in front.
Once again, let's see if Orea can now do something with this. Busquet slams on the brakes there. Just lets the traffic go by. And you mentioned this when they were warming up, Dale, that this kid can hit a ball. And that certainly had some power behind it. Not quite where he wanted it to go. It just went out to the right. So once again, it will be a knock-in from the back line.
Yeah, he can drive the ball deep, as he's been very successful at that. And that's why now, with all the stats and games that we see now coming into February, people are starting to key on Matti Busquet a bit more, not giving him as much space as they were at the beginning of the season. And but he's going to drive that one a good 80, 90 yards, but off to the right side. It looks like we'll get attack time here for the Oriflamme team. And that looks like, I don't know if that's Ben Shepard down there or Jason Warren. It is Ben. So they're going to go ahead and give him an opportunity to maybe change his horse. 1:29 on the clock, Jan, and we also will be, remember, just a little reminder, we will be doing our stats at halftime. And so stick around for that, and then we'll go to a little halftime break. Remember, 4 chuckers of polo in the 6th goal in the Metropolitan Cup, which we love because it gives everyone the opportunity to play with less horses. If you want to come play the game of polo, and away we go.
Again, a nice little, not that nice actually, that shot, that knock in from Jason Warren. He was trying to feed the ball to Gansey. Didn't quite get the play he wanted. Orea Polo leaning very far out of the saddle, keeping the pressure on. They want to make the most of the fact that they are in Oriflamme territory. Over on the far side, you can see he's just turning around, anticipating a ball. Little rotation going on. Jason Warren now going up the front, waiting for that ball to come through to maybe do something with it. Orea need to be careful. And again, that ball going over the back line.
Well, Matt is going to come across the front and get an opportunity there, but, defense wins championships. You've heard me say it many times, Jan, and this is just a great defensive play by Jason Warren using his 4-legged athlete to block that ball. They're going to change it up a little bit, and it's going to be double G to take the knock-in.
Gansey. Nicely done. And that will be a solid first touch here. Gets a hard ride off, coming right in front of us here. Jason Warren hammers that ball along down the boards. He's got Gansey right behind him, but first man to the seat will be Finn Secunda. He sends it back, but he gives it basically to Jason Warren. Warren will leave that one. Gansey sends it back to Jason. Can he control it? Opens the shoulders. The man with the number 2. They look pretty straight to me, but he got a little bit unlucky there as Artemio Figueras just puts that one wide, and that will be it, the end of the first half. The first 2 chuckers played. Just that one goal, which we saw by Artemio Figueras. So we'll have a little break. We'll let the players get themselves some fresh opponents, and make sure you join us in a few moments when Dale will be out on the field giving you the stats of the first half.
Thank you, Jan. And once again, let's go with stats. A very defensive-minded game today here, as these games have been wide open, but only 1 goal difference. Did you see that? And I thought this would be pretty even. 4 shots for each team on goal. But the difference is we had 4 knock-ins by the Oriflamme team and 2 knock-ins by the Orea team. So it looks like the Oriflamme team with a higher percentage of shooting, but, still not much change in the game. That's only when we get that 1 goal. Fouls committed. This is where the Orea team needs to clean this up a bit. 4 fouls compared to 1 foul committed by the Oriflamme team. Remember, the good thing about some of these fouls is most of those fouls were outside of the 60-yard line, not goal shot penalty shots. When they go down to it, we only have the 1 goal scored by the Oriflamme team. That was a 30-yard shot, and then also we had 1 miss by the Orea team. So a very tight game. So we're going to send both teams off to the tent, to the locker room, as we say. We'll get them ready for our second half. We're going to go to a little halftime break here, and we'll be back here for the 2023 Metropolitan Cup second half.
As far as barns go, it's 10 points. The weather, the scenic views are unbelievable. To be up here in the mountains in this weather, I don't think you have many choices nicer than this. I feel like we have some really competitive polo up here. It's friendly competitive polo.
The place is amazing. Good polo fields, good players, good horses, so it's a good experience. It's really good.
club. They have empanadas there. They have Argentine-style barbecue.
I'm in love of this place. The club is really nice. The people is really good.
At least what I can see is that it's an amazing place to be playing polo with the family and with good friends, enjoying, and the weather is great. I can't complain at all.
There's so much to do up here, and people are great, and there's some of the best polo in the country up here.
I think this is the place to play polo in the summer.
It's as good as it gets for summer polo.
This may be my new home.
As soon as our child is old enough, she's going to be in their polo school.
You just want to be a horse in that barn.
Welcome back to CTV Sports. I'm Dale Schwetz with Jan Edick Frank. Steve Lane working as our IRO/third man. Gaston Delrignac, our mounted official. Our two teams playing here in the Metropolitan Cup today. Orea with the pink jersey, Petra Saratoga, Finn Segunda, Justin Daniels, and Matty Bousquet. And, they're being edged out by one goal today by the Oriflamme team with Ben Shepard, Artemio Figueres, Grant Ganzi, and Jason Warren. We're back to the second half action.
Here we go then. Let's see if Orea can turn things around. Remember, we had no score in the first chuck, and then just that one coming in from Artemio Figueres in chuck number 2. That was a goal coming from a penalty. And also, I have to say, Dale, in the first chuck, I think no more than maybe 2 or 3 whistles. That has slightly increased a little bit, but great to see these two teams very evenly balanced here as Ganzi once again launches another attack here for Oriflamme, trying to get it into that danger zone. A little bit too short there for Figueres to do anything with, as Orea now caught halfway in their own half. A little bit of space to try and launch a new offensive play. That's going to go across the field. I think that was intended for Petra Subotova, but you can see how well, and you mentioned this earlier, Dale, how both of these teams are playing a very defensive strategy. Both Grant Ganzi and Jason Warren, the 2-3 goalers, they're not able to avoid this shot on goal, and that, again, very, very close, just going out to the left-hand side, so they're getting closer and closer. I think this is just a matter of time until we see that equalizer.
Yeah, so Finn Segunda is going to go ahead and get a shot on goal there. The pass from Matty. So good teamwork here by the Orea team in the pink jerseys, moving the ball coast to coast. But again, off to the left, right. And remember our stats, very even across the board. The only difference was a few more fouls committed by the Orea team, but they were penalty 5, so it did not hurt them at all. Now look at this battle going on here between Finn and Jason. Jason, Finn, Jason, loose ball play. It'll be Jason.
Warren trying to find a little gap, but you can see they are sticking to him there very, very intensely now with the number 4. That could be Matty. Matty, can he finally get to the finish? Sent back out. Who's going to get to it first? Maybe I was going to say maybe play a little backhand, but no, he's decided to turn it around, takes aim, takes a shot, and that, on the near side, or on the near post, on the far post, I should say, just trying to steer it in, but we had a whistle.
Yeah, Justin with the shot on goal there, and just bad luck here. It looked like Matty Bousquet's pony rear end's going to kind of come from right to left, or be left to right. I apologize. From my angle, on your angle, it would be the opposite from the camera angle. But that was a little dangerous, and that's where you're going to get the whistle, as he does actually get a piece of that ball. And I might have rolled into the goal here. I can check on our replay here. I'll check with our instant replay official, see if he can see anything. And maybe he got it done early enough. But our umpire's going to go ahead and blow it dead anyways. Now, remember, if it did go in the goal and the umpire wanted to check it, then and it was a goal, and they said no foul, would be a goal. But in this case, maybe it's going to go against the Oriflamme team. So it is going to go against the Oriflamme team. And the Oriflamme team was on the near side when they met that. So on the wrong side, remember the rules of the game, no right-of-way. There's no right-of-way on the near side, only in the arena. And that's when you're established on the wall, but not on the outdoor field. And this is an easy shot here from the spot. And I think it's going to be Matty Bousquet to go ahead and do the honors. So look at this, the equalizer here early in the second half.
Well, I think it was a goal in waiting. It came, and as you said now, the equaliser finally being scored as they make their way back to the halfway line. One or two players I can see just going to quickly go and change a pony. So, all to play for. Orea Polo still looking for that first win in this, the Metropolitan Cup 6-goal 2023. As you said, they're coming in here with 0-1. Oriflamme looking to keep their record clean, winning their first game. Just waiting for the players to come back out now to continue the last few minutes here of Chukker number 3.
Yeah, so remember in the first games, in this, you were still traveling. Actually, you were out at the Semeritz Snow Polo championships out there, Jan. And during this time in the polo school, they edged out Orea right at the end. Juan Bellini scoring a goal from like 80 yards out and then getting a penalty too in the last 30 seconds of the game to win. And then on the Oriflamme team, they won by 2 goals against CRG Cresta, and they were pretty strong, and they were strong in the third and fourth chuckers. Let's see if they can bring back that magic today.
Here we go then, and the ball's thrown into play, and it'll be Bousquet to try and maybe even take the lead in this third chucker. Jason Warren, the first man, doing a very good job in defence, and of course the 2-3 goalers once again, Grant Ganzi and James Warren, working very close together, and another whistle.
Well, this is a heads-up play here by Grant Ganzi. Just big read. Grant plays all types of polo, and he loves playing. Well, you saw him out at Semeritz. He actually played out there.
Yes, he did.
Loves the snow polo. And but he loves playing in the low, medium, and high goal. And actually, he's using this Metropolitan Cup to prepare himself for the Sterling Cup, which is going on. You'll be able to see action tomorrow in the Sterling Cup, where we will have Audi going up against Scone. There's 14 in that. We'll talk more about that a little bit. But here you come on the 5B, and it's going to be Jason.
Warren, what a monster drive down the field. A little bit too monstrous as Petra Subotova will get to it first. Turning it around. We've not seen as much of her as I would have liked. Petra Subotova, of course, an all-rounder. She's not only a polo player, but also a jumper. She spends half of her life on a horse to help.
Yeah, we're finding that out now. A lot of the -1s and 0-goal players are starting to get a lot of pressure put on them because they're playing so well. Yep. They're scoring a lot of goals, and so what happens is they start to put more pressure on those players because you can't just let them go.
No.
They will burn you. They'll sting you, as we say.
Absolutely, and we know how dangerous Petra Subotova can be in front of goal. As I say, very, very competent rider, and puts a lot of passion and a lot of emphasis on the way the team plays, of course. And what I also didn't know is she's an incredible artist. She's a very, very talented oil painting artist. She showed me some pictures last season of some amazing art that she did. So an all-rounder. And here we go then. Players lining up, and it's a penalty. It's a safety 60, so that ball coming off a defending player, and it just somehow managed, or did it. The goal judge, I can see, is just waving or trying to wave that flag. There was definitely a deflection as that safety 60.
Did Jason hit that one?
I'm not 100% sure. And we have a whistle on that as well, so that'll be interesting to see on the replay.
So just wide, I guess they're going to say no goal. Is Jason Warren taking the shot? Now remember that, Jan, with that 60-yard penalty shot, which very similar to the to a corner kick in soccer when the defending team hits it over their own end line. When Polo, we bring it out for a free shot, no further than 40 yards from the center. And that one was just maybe just about 10 yards or 20 yards outside. So a goal was scored, but there's a foul on the play. So no goal. Oh, wow. So that's pretty interesting. We don't see that happen a lot.
No, we don't.
In a lot of the games, yeah, we actually have a goal being scored on a penalty shot and a foul being committed at the same time. So they'll say no goal. Now I gotta check on this. If we were to want that ball to go through the goal first there, Steve, and they had the penalty, they would still say no goal. All right, so that's just the way the ball rolls. That's the thing. And here we go. On the move, it's going to be Finn.
Secunda. This is a nice run. If you can finish this is what we wanted to see from Orea. What is that, Dale? That is a coast to coast.
Like butter on toast. And the bigger thing about that, Finn, Yannick Frank, is that's a 2-goal difference, because not that they had a foul committed on the penalty 6 that was going in and got the ball back, but then they turned it into a positive possession, and they get the coast-to-coast run by Finn. So what a huge play here in the third chucker. Man, that's a game-changing play.
Absolutely, and I'm sure that will have a knock-on effect, not only within that team, but let's now see how Oriflamme will answer. They've won it again. Once again, Orea, they're on a bit of a roll here at the moment. They've won the throw-in, and as I said earlier, that can make all the difference. They are now in offense, but you can see Oriflamme straight away trying to take the man out of the equation, but they still have possession as they cut across the field. Orea now really starting to find their rhythm. Ganzi, a little bit of a mistake there. Orea still getting away with a black eye here. Another clear run to goal for Orea Polo, and that, Dale, will be it will be the next super goal here from Orea Polo. So 3 now in this third chukker, making it 3-1. The scorer there, of course, Matti Buski.
3 goals in the first half of the third chukker. Have we even gone to a courtesy change yet? I do believe we have not. That is a super strong start by the team in the pink, the Orea team, and this happens a lot in Polo. They go into the tent, they go into the locker room, they get themselves lined up, and what a start here to start the second half. Look at this, looking for another one. It's going to be Matty.
And they've won the throw-in again. Once again, Busquet, he's already scored. He's got a clear run to goal, just needs to control it. There's the horn, takes a shot on goal. Let's see what the goal judge says, just going wide. But what a cracking way to end this third chukker. 3-0.
Man, what a play and what a run for the Orea team. So they'll send them off here up by 2 goals, our 4th and final chukker. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back here on CTV Sports.
There's something about when you get up early, prep the plane, and you take off, and you get that first light of day. And the air is crystal smooth. You can see forever. You have to have the right aircraft for the right flight with the right crew up front. Only NetJets can do this. The flight dissolves into the background. It should just be the here and now.
All right, here we go. 3 unanswered goals in the third chukker, and that's how quick the game of polo can change, making it 3-1 here as we go into our fourth and final chukker. Remember now, and join us as we are going to check all the scheduling, but we are starting our Sterling Cup, and it's going to go right to the semifinal game. So semifinal, our first semifinal will be tomorrow at 3:30 on Field 3, Audi, which is going to be Mark Ganzi, Grant Ganzi, Barto Casanola, Heta Casanola against Scone, which will be Cable Magnus, Cody Ellis, Poroto Cambiaso, and Polo and Sterling, 2 very strong 22-goal teams going at it in the semifinals of the 2023 Sterling Cup. You don't want to miss that. It will be live on CTV Sports, and if you're in town, please come down to Field 3 at the Grand Champions Polo Club. That field, Steve and I were over, got to look at it. That thing looks immaculate. Steve, ooh, it's going to be a good one. So make sure you join us for that, Yan. That's going to be a fun one tomorrow. But let's get ready for this one. Back to the action here. What do you think? 3-1. And, well, we got momentum going here for the team in the pink, Orea.
Well, let's see if they can get it over to over the finishing line. Of course, like I say, looking for their first win in the Metropolitan Cup 6-goal 2023. For a moment there, I thought Oriflamme might have just had the slight edge, Dale, especially after the first half, but they came back so strong. And as you said, 3 unanswered goals in that penultimate chukker. Let's see how Oriflamme will respond, and let's see if Orea will be able to latch onto that performance from that previous chukker and, as I say, secure their first win. Just waiting for the umpire now to call play. It'll be Jason Warren to get things underway for Oriflamme. Still plenty of time here, of course, in the fourth and final chukker. And as Dale mentioned earlier, we will, of course, have our second match of the Metropolitan Cup 6-goal 2023 right after here also at Santa Rita Grand Champions Polo Club. Ball's back in play. Ganzi looking for an opportunity. He's got Figueres in front of him. And that's a nice little combination. Oh, he tried to pick it up on the near side, and this could be an opportunity now for Orea Polo. Just over the halfway line they go, looking for someone to play it to. There's nobody up at the front. Petra Subotova probably was thinking more, let's go back in defence. Ganzi with a cut shot, trying to send it back to where it came from, but he's got 2 now. 2 Orea attackers to try and do something with it. Here it goes again. A long ball, and as you would say, Dale, this ball has got eyes. So Subotova trying there to put it, well, at a very difficult angle into that near post. So definitely an A for effort there, trying to get to that ball before it ran out of field. So you can see this Orea team, completely different mindset now in the second half.
No, they're keeping it on their side. As you said, 3 unanswered goals in the third chukker. So we need to get some fire going for the Orea team. For the Oriflamme team.
Very nice cut shot here from Ganzi, looking to feed it up to Ben Shepherd, but getting there first was Figueres. Figueres, Shepherd leaves it behind for Warren. Into the corner they go. Warren running into some traffic. Will try and turn it and run it in along the back line. Game picking up a nice bit of pace again here, but we've seen that literally from that first chukker. And our mounted official, Gaston Dorignac, having to once again resort to blowing that whistle.
Yeah, you're going to get an offensive attack here for the Orea team, and that was down inside the 60-yard line. That's going to be a cross hook. Now, remember, you may hook a player on in the game of polo. It must be below the player's shoulder, and it must be on the same side that player is playing the ball. It must be making a play on the ball to make a hook on an opposing player. You cannot reach behind a player, underneath a player, behind the player's horse's rear end. You cannot reach underneath the horses, between the legs, or in front of a horse. In this case, behind a player's back. And it's going to be a huge move, a good 140-yard move to the center. And the Orea team will keep control here and keep momentum going in the fourth chukker.
So quickly taken from the centre. Nice long drive. Petra Subotova just tucking in behind. First man will be Jason Warren. Picks it up, leaves that one for Figueres. Again, standing very well. I do like their positioning play. Ganzi, well, anticipating that ball to come his way as they take it away from the sideboards. Oriflamme, nice little drive once again, but see, this is exactly what they've done a few times. They've had a lot of interceptions. Orea now on the move. Slightly topped that ball. He would have been straight through to goal. Again, Warren, can he turn things around? There is the pass. Takes his time, wants to extend it. He's got Ben Shepherd on the move. That ball's just a little bit too short as Warren comes in again. Picked up now by Matty. Matty has a bit of time, taking the pace out of the game. He knows he's got Ganzi behind him. Fakes a little backhander, turning the ball around. This, of course, is costing a lot of time that Oriflamme now do not have as much of. Nice little hook. We saw a great hook there from Ganzi. Ball sent back up through or by the man with the number 3, Justin Daniels. And that will be good. We'll go to Finn Secunda. Grant Ganzi getting there first. Figueres, once he got up his sleeve, ball goes over to the boards. Oh, and we have a whistle.
Yes, right there. Grant Ganzi, taking on the whole Orea team. She made the hook on Maddie, and then Justin comes in behind him, makes a big hit down the field, but Grant reads it perfectly and just gets control to save the Oriflamme team here. They had a true 3-on-1 attack going, so that's going to help them out tremendously here as we get a Kersey change, and our final Kersey change of this Metropolitan Cup game number 1. Now remember, our second game will be at 11:30, so we'll go to a little break, and then we'll be back for our second game, which will be CRG Cresta Salada against the Polo School. And so that's going to be good on the Polo School 1-0, and the CRG team 0-1. So very similar setup as we're seeing today here with the Oriflamme team 1-0 and the Orea team 0-1. So we could have a pretty tight matchup here as all the teams will play against each other today, Jan, in the 2023 Metropolitan Cup.
Well, like I say, Dale, very much looking forward to it. And, of course, also the Sterling Cup. And, of course...
tell me a little bit about that. I don't want to interrupt you, but look at those two teams. Man, Mark Ganzi, Grant Ganzi, Barto, and Het, they're just coming off their loss. And also they haven't played against Peroto since his win and going to 10 goals. Peroto and Pelon playing together in the Argentine Open. And then a lot of big matchups here, and we're going to talk a lot about this as it goes on. Welcome back, Bob Janovis, after coming off fighting cancer, coming back. Bobby J back in the saddle. That is so big. You got father-son combinations with the Ganzis and the Cambiasos. There's just so much going on here, and we're really happy to have the Sterling Cup being played here at the Grand Champion Polo Club.
Absolutely. And then, of course... let's not forget also the WPL in its 5th year this year.
We are ready for that.
Oh, are we ever? The world's best, having I've seen already 1 or 2 of the players here in town. So that's something you definitely...
they've been warming up. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to give it up to you because this is a private facility unless we have games going on. But in the evenings, I've had the opportunity to work at the Polo School with Juan Bellini in the evenings. And I got to tell you, watching all the big stars out here preparing in the evening, whoo, boy, give you chills, give you goosebumps when you watch them out here ready to go, Leanne.
Well, very much looking forward to that. Here we go then. Now then, the latter half of Chukka number 4. And after that... hat-trick, let's just say a hat-trick by Orea Polo. Remember, we saw 2 by Matty and 1 by Finn in that previous Chukka. So far, Oriflamme are struggling to try and get on the scoreboard. Orea Polo, well, I'm sure the strategy will be, let's just keep hold of the ball. Let's try and keep the back door firmly shut and not give away any last-minute goals, as you were saying. That's how it happened in that first game. But you can see they're fighting. Once again, Jason Warren looking for a shot on goal. It just goes wide. So that, of course, means once again possession for Orea Polo.
Yeah, I think this is what we're going to see in the stats at the end here. Remember, we will have the stats at the end of the 4 Chucker. Some great shots on goal by the Oriflamme team, but unsuccessful putting it between that 8 yards, 24 feet, which can be very difficult. And the Orea team being very strong in the third chukker, just trying to hold on to that 3 unanswered goals, because right now we're back to a defensive battle.
Absolutely. Turned around on the halfway line. Warren. No one to play it to. He's going to have to run this one himself. Figueres just taking a little bit too much time. Up now goes Ben Shepherd as well. They have to mobilise all their attackers. Ball is left, beg your pardon, with Gansey. He runs into some traffic. And again, this is costing a lot of valuable time, which they're running out of. Gansey with a little open backhand, running into a deflection. Orea have it, and they'll just be thinking, let's just get that ball as far away from our own goal as we possibly can. Subatova going up. Look at that pony open up nicely. Subatova, be nice to see the only lady in. Oh, how unlucky. She had the perfect. She timed it just right. Just a little bit unlucky not making the connection, but they find themselves once again deep in the half here of Oriflamme. We have to take that ball all the way back to where it came from. Nice little shot round the outside. Gansey being taken out of the equation. Again, Warren sent back by Daniels. Yeah, I think that was inevitable that was going to happen at that speed. And then, of course, the change of play. So once again, Gaston Dorniac stopping the clock with that whistle.
Yeah, huge play here, and they needed this, the Oriflamme team. This is going to drop the ball on the right-of-way violation. You can see that Maddie Bousquet on the left side, on the near side, taking that ball in front of Gansey. 51 seconds on the clock. Let's do the math. They need to score right away so they can get back to the bowl-in. They're going to go in and try to run this one, and it looks like it's going to be Jason Warren trying to run it inside the 60 here. Yan, he might be able to get one once, twice, 3 times. And
oh, wow.
The high flag.
Yeah, wow, what a great run. You called it, Dale. He wanted to run that one. They did, he did. And that, of course, very, very important, that goal. We've had the first siren, the first horn as they come back to the centre. But will they have enough time? Because they are still trailing by 1 goal. And, of course, they will be in a hurry to get that ball released from the umpire. It's thrown back into play. Picked up now by the number 2 from Orea, and that'll be Finn Secunda. And with that siren, and he would have probably scored another one. As you can see, the clock just beating him to it. So a great run. Orea Polo coming back very strong in that second half. They scored 3 times in chukker number 3, and that made all the difference for them to then take and get their first victory. Now over to you, Del, with the end of game stats.
Thank you so much, Jan. As always, well, 3-2 as they took it in, and they had a great comeback here, but the clock goes tick, 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 and it worked against them. And right here, shots on goal. Orea team opening it up in the second half. A well done job by them. 10 shots compared to 6 shots. That was a huge difference from the first half to the second half. Knock-ins, 7 knock-ins by the Oriflamme team. So this shows the Orea team was very strong on the offensive attack. They missed a few more goals than they probably should have. 4 knock-ins taken by the Orea team. So the Oriflamme team, better percentages, but not enough shots on goal. Throw-ins, this is a huge part when you get in a close game. And in this game, the Orea team, they won 5 out of 6. So that's a huge stat. And congratulations to them. They did commit 2 more fouls, but they cleaned it up from the first half. And that's, you got to pat yourself on the back, as they fouled 70% more in the first half than the Oriflamme team, but they cleaned it up in the second half. It was 1-1 on the penalty scored in the whole game, so that did become a difference. So a great job by the Orea team going into the tent, cleaning things up, working out what they were not doing right, and what a super strong third chukker. They scored them 3 unanswered goals. They held on to the end to win by 1 goal, and look at this. Now we have 2 teams at 1-1. Well, stay with us, as we'll have our second Metropolitan Cup game today at 11:30, but we are going to go to a little break. And for Jan Edik Frank, I'm Dale Schwetz. I speak for everyone at CTV Sports when I say thank you for making us the leaders in polo broadcasting. And always remember, here at CTV Sports, that we love the polo.